This time on a special episode of Highway Thru Hell. Off-road, off-load.
Here comes the curveball.
Yeah.
Jamie and a team of heavy rescue legends
Brothers.
take a look back at their toughest, roughest
Watch it.
back road recoveries, battling deep mud and steep slopes to bring it home.
This isn't like doing a recovery in the city. It's a different world. Watch it. Off-road recovery work has to be some of the hardest work we do.
Oh, yes. The roads are very rough up there. Not paying attention, go over the bank.
Dragging a truck off-road and going through the mud swamps. Next thing you know, we're dragging each other out.
There's so many different dangers. Bring things you didn't think you need because help is not coming.
My truck's about to go over a ravine.
You're given different situations every single time you go out on an off-road recovery.
You never know what you're going up there for.
Here comes the curveball.
Some days it's a bulldozer recovery day. Well, you would never get any of that chrome in here. This is for rough, tough, burly kind of men.
You've been doing that super heavy-duty recovery for quite a while now.
It started out as a bit of a hobby.
These things are the biggest cats around.
I got my first big bulldozer not long after there was an industrial accident not far from my home. I thought there should be something more in our neighborhood for that type of heavy recovery.
What exactly do you have for equipment?
I've got two D9s running, and then I've got a smaller D5 with a winch.
It's become a real part of your business.
Not every day is a tow truck day, right? You got to be able to diversify.
When I watch you do these big digger recoveries, that has really putting you into a league all by yourself. What was your recovery weight on the machine?
That machine probably 140,000 pounds.
Really?
What do you think of that?
That's a lot of weight.
This is a huge machine. They spent half a day pumping the water out to where we could actually get access onto the machine.
It's gonna be a hard little tug.
So when you're dealing with that kind of weight, big iron for big iron.
Big iron.
This is gonna go right around.
The D9, it uses a lot heavier recovery equipment. The shackles, the pulling attachments, everything is industrial size.
You've got your big wrecker standing by.
Take one line out.
The 345 cat excavator was still moving, so we had to tie a big green onto the back of that just to brace
Hold it.
Expect something to break.
You know, wreckers could probably do that job.
Sure, half a dozen wreckers would probably pull that thing out too, but I don't like to put that wrecker at risk because you know the value in that equipment.
Pull!
People don't realize how much mud adds to the pulling capacity required to move.
Got to be 50% again.
She's coming.
It looks like you're just about to get the thing up the bank there, and something happens.
Look out!
Comes to a dead stop like hitting a brick wall. At that point, you can decide you can try and man it over and get it out of there, or
Just
stop,
wait a minute.
have a reassessment.
Is there many more of those in there?
Dug around a bit, found a couple of big boulders. Holy frig. And tried to coax it one more time. Still, in this case, that wasn't enough.
We're fighting that boom right now.
Got a lot of weight there, man. You're looking straight down.
There was a fella at that site that said, just can't you hook onto it and drive all your machines forward? Well,
Slow down. I've been doing this 30 years.
I know, but
okay?
it's a whole step of procedure. Some people think you just hook on and go.
Trust me, you're in the dentist seat.
We released the hydraulic pressure.
Oh, you wouldn't want to be in front of that.
We tried to contain most of the oil into what you see, that barrel up on the top.
You've almost got that down to a science now. You've done so many of them.
Okay, Leonard, pick her up.
And we finally got it broken free.
There you go, yeah.
I think we got her. I was pretty happy at the end of the day to go home for a night and have a shower.
I'm definitely gonna have a shot of whiskey. Arr.
I find them just amazing, those jobs. The guy down the road, he could never do that, but I did
Well,
it. It's bragging rights, really. I mean, you know.
true enough.
We're out here.
It looks like a pretty extreme adverse location there.
Way up in the back behind Boston Bar.
I like being in the middle of nowhere.
We got a call, some kind of SUV over the bank. I was all excited to go do that.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Probably took us 6 hours in traveling time altogether. We were dealing with a deactivated road.
That's when they dig water ditches just to help stop erosion, but some of those ditches are 2 feet deep.
Whenever I can get the old Holmes truck out there, it's always fun.
That beat us up pretty hard.
Well, 47's a tall truck and could walk, but still was having troubles getting up there.
Oh, I can totally relate in that size of a truck.
What are you gonna drag the truck to here? I don't know. There you go. Oh no. Okay, stop. Now we're in trouble.
That's a prime example. You get into these situations, and if you were there alone with that tow truck and stuck, you're a long hike from home.
We'll just go together all the way up. There we go.
Are you freaking out of it?
This is a little intense. One small move and you're down there.
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't like doing a recovery in the city.
No.
You know, you need an escape truck if something happens. You need an extra man up there, maybe 2.
Okay, all right, let's give her. That's all we needed.
That was crazy.
All right, so we're at the top.
We arrive on scene,
Oh no.
and then I find that somebody's been using 47, and
Damage some
that's
teeth.
a big job.
You get out in the middle of nowhere, and then you discover that. Here comes a curveball.
Yeah.
Yeah, pull.
The teeth were meshing enough that we could use it as a guideline.
What a machine, eh? That's why I keep these around.
That's been the most reliable truck.
Yes, no computers, no emissions.
They're just built for recovery.
High-performance hydraulic wreckers, they don't have the savvy that these old machines have.
Nice. Good job.
Good job, Brandon. We did it.
Okay, now let's get out of here.
The worst part was Paris trying to drive it down the mountain. It had a flat tire on it, and it was all screwed up. He wanted to go drive that down because he thought he was like, 4x4 or something, and
Slowly! Hey!
Holy crap.
Do you think that was maybe a better option than riding down that hill in the truck with you and not on the back?
it was probably smarter to drive it down the hill, I think. It would have come undone.
Fun job, man. One of the best.
People don't realize all that jostling around, what it takes out of you.
Oh, you're pretty beat up by the time you get over the bush. That's a long, long day.
Just some good old boys doing some good old recovery.
Gonna break loose on me, I think.
Easy, easy. That's nice.
Amazing what you can do with a little chain, eh?
So, Ken, you guys have been in business a long time and have huge experience in off-road recovery. How long have you guys actually been operating?
We've started in business actually halfway through 1953, my dad and my grandpa.
It's a few battle scars in the backwoods.
Yes.
Look at that. Wow.
It's hanging right on the edge there.
You guys do a lot more off-road recovery than a lot of other guys do, really. And the equipment you have to do that is pretty specialized.
Yes, most of our fleet is four-wheel drives. The areas we go, we almost need four-wheel drive in a lot of the roads we go up into. Mission is all mountains up and behind us. They all lead to the logging roads. And sometimes you get these jobs in the backyard.
You've got a soggy recovery with this wood chipper job.
It was a real muddy, messy job, you know.
It's kind of swamp hole here.
Really soft ground, quicksand.
Oh, yeah.
He's really buried himself down. Just dug him right down is what it's done.
That unit, what do you think it would weigh? I'm guessing
over
he's
20.
20,000, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to put a heavier truck in there because I knew we're going to end up in the same spot as him.
Right.
We're not bringing our wrecker in here, not our big wrecker, that's for sure.
So there was no way a tandem was going to go in there.
No, you'd never get a tandem in.
Yeah.
You would be calling another tandem to get it out.
Here they come.
We brought the backhoe in, four-wheel drive backhoe.
Easy, just easy. Watch your front end. Hold there! Whoa! That's not good. He's just sunk right out of sight on the other side.
Backhoe just went bang, down. He sunk right down to the valley.
What did he do to rectify that situation?
He used his hydraulics, and he lifts it up and then can shoot himself back.
So it was kind of amazing you were doing some backhoe whispering to get him unstuck there.
Keep going, keep going. Keep up. Easy, easy, easy. Don't spin him. Don't spin. Good.
I used the backhoe then as the anchor.
How many lines to the load?
We just did a single.
We're gonna hook a snatch block onto the truck and then back to the machine.
You have to think that recovery out before it
Oh,
happens.
for sure.
Do you get in your truck?
We need to get that wheel up, of course.
Okay, just try backing up easy. Keep coming. Don't spin them, whatever you do. Just let them roll.
You're dealing with a lot of suction here.
We've been walking in that muck. Pull your boots right off.
Start turning. Start turning, turning, turning. Keep going, keep going. Yeah, little more. Cranker now.
Wow. I was amazed after we got him up and out of that hole, he went out with those chains and actually didn't spin.
That is one mud hole. Yeah. Soft ground, huh?
It rolled out of there pretty good.
Amazing.
Thanks for calling Mission Towing.
So you have a logging truck over the bank. How far off-road were you there?
Maybe 4 or 5 kilometers out of Colma, little historic gold town and coal mining town.
Just traveling there. That's half the battle.
This is the type of road where you come around the corner and you might see a abominable snowman.
Gordy and I, we went up there. It's very, very narrow road on a very steep incline.
There's a corner I wouldn't want to miss coming the other way. That would hurt. If we come to a wide spot there, Gord, just hang tough until I go find this truck.
There's so many roads that branch off of the main line. I actually ended up going up to the Blakeburn mine site.
It's on the other road?
Yeah, it's right down here, down to the right.
Yeah, we're on the wrong road. I'll get turned around.
Very lucky that somebody pointed out that we'd made a wrong turn.
That can be a big issue. You've got only so much fuel.
Everything has a triple value when you're way out of town.
Well, looky here.
We pull up on scene.
Okay.
It looks like you had a load of logs go over on a Was it a B-train log trailer?
B-train hay rack, yeah. I figured, you know, the whole load complete,
60.
maybe 50 to 60,000 pounds.
That's still a lot of weight, though. Like,
Especially on the side of a road where you've only got room for the wrecker. Cold enough here to freeze the balls off a brass monkey.
well, that valley is one of the coldest areas. Well, I know that the temperatures are always way colder there than anywhere else.
It's minus 20. Uh-oh. Oh, that's frozen. Gord, cable's froze. Those controls were frozen solid.
Wow, okay.
We leave the wet coast here. These type of things happen, right? Unforeseen events.
I know even me, I get caught off guard.
Let's see how we get that pry bar. In this case, a little pry bar and some sweet talking, and we're back rolling.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, work it the other way.
Stiff, but she's working.
And how you adapt and overcome is what defines you as a good quality wrecker operator.
Can you adapt and overcome?
All right, here we go. I had 3 winches on that trailer. Tug it! And Gordy had one while he was pulling on.
You did a tail hold on.
Tail hold on it. Pull on her a bit, Gord. When things are sliding, you just hope it's in a slide 1 foot and not 5 or 6 feet and then end up over the bank. Because then we're on a phone call to my dad, right?
Nobody wants to make a phone call to your dad, not even me.
No. Keep an eye, there's some logs that hung up in the buttons, just in case something flies up.
As you guys are starting to winch that thing up, you still had a few big logs stuck in the hay rack area, which that's a lot of weight.
And when you're pulling those logs, suddenly it releases. Something could fly up off that log trailer. So it's on the road. I was hoping to actually catch one log in the bunk that I could bring home for Christmas wood for my family, but that didn't work out so much. Woo! That's my Sasquatch call.
You really believe in Sasquatches?
I tell you, there's a possibility. I got my own little stories. Be handy to have 1 or 2 come out of the labor pool for pulling cable and chain.
Slow and easy. That's how you get this one done.
So you're towing this whole unit down the mountain.
There's not a chance you're gonna stop. It's just a controlled descent down that hill. Just watch that corner.
What do you think the overall length was?
Probably 110, 120 feet. For the most part, he was able to negotiate a lot of those corners.
Made her run, huh? No, we didn't.
But unfortunately, the tail end of that trailer got over the edge of the road and pulled the trailer onto the road, and away he went. I tell you, Gordy, he did an excellent job on taking that down the hill. I was worried because no brakes attached to what he's towing. You know, it's okay to send a test dummy down.
We are headed Highway 1 westbound, west of Hurley Island.
Good.
Jason's my brother. He's in the towing business too. You wouldn't really know that we're brothers. So I thought I'd help you out.
Now we're twins.
We're twins.
Twins.
Brothers. You work in a big area with big volume, and you got lots and lots of equipment.
We're running around 72 pieces of equipment.
How many are actually running? I've got a parked few junkers too, so.
Yeah, you do.
This has to be the longest, far-reaching off-road recovery we've ever done. So this was on Highway 3, this job, and the bank right in there is more than 1,100 feet down. The rotator really helped out because we could reach out and over, we could pull it away from the bank.
And it does help.
Once you get to vertical, you're rock climbing, right?
Any kind of a height situation for me is no-go.
Yeah, a little bit sketchy.
You sure you can handle this big city guy?
Problem, buddy.
You sure you're gonna do her?
That's why I sent Ken Monkhouse over.
Yeah.
I was born in a ditch.
The first line you strung on that vehicle was a little bit thin. What made you go with that line rather than heavier one?
A lot of people talk about that job and the winch line. The winch line's heavy. Really using the lighter line was more of a safety issue. The guys going down the bank.
It's coming now.
Do you manhandle that lighter wire rope? Or do you have the big stuff and have it take off and hurt somebody? It was a kind of a no-win situation.
So it broke right at the pulley when I usually do. Right at the pulley.
I'm like, okay, hold it here. Let's go get some bigger line. And re-rigged. We're running the larger wire rope down there. And it starts to get away on me. I just barely grab onto it. But it almost takes me down the mountain with it.
You okay, Gord? Wow. Coming okay? Looking good, buddy.
And in the end, you know, the heavier wire rope prevailed and we did the job.
We finally slayed the dragon, yeah, it's good.
The rotator was probably the right tool for the job.
But that's a job that you don't do every day.
It is a different scenario.
And a bit of criticism on that job is great. Store it up here for next time. So it's pretty rare to do recovery on an off-road rock truck like that. You know, there's very few of them around.
Kenworth 850 model, that's the biggest model that Kenworth truck makes.
The turtle on its back.
That's a big-ass truck.
That truck was well over 100,000 pounds, even empty.
Wow.
You don't really see the size of it until you see me standing on top of it. That thing is huge.
Both your big wreckers are 50 tons.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I had wondered if I had brought the right equipment. I was looking at that truck and the very narrow road.
You thought maybe you were at your match with the wreckers?
Actually, I had thought that, but to calm down a bit.
Can you grab the big 3/4 chain with one hook?
You mean this one?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's sloppy. It's not good.
Looked like the whole bank could wash out there. I mean, your trucks could be swooped away, and it was like rivers coming down there.
Holy crap, that's slimy.
One of the largest rock slides in Canada is right there.
You think about that.
Oh, you might not be coming out.
If you can't find the path of least resistance, create it.
We brought a lot of big, oversized rock and ballast just to armor up that roadside.
We got Michelangelo in an excavator here. He's painting us a nice picture.
If we were to proceed without armoring that hill, you know, the vibration of the wrecker, that could be enough to start a whole slough.
And we'll start getting rigged up here. At least the rain has stopped.
The road could be lost, causing a problem for us not being able to leave. It's taking that extra few minutes of prior thinking before you commence.
Always 3 steps ahead.
You have to think that at least. With Gord's truck, we were actually able to flip it over, retain it so it wouldn't flip over again. And then my tow truck really makes a difference on the tail end.
2 50-ton wreckers are pretty powerful. I mean,
very powerful in the right application, but we're on a very steep incline, which deducts your pulling capacity, your holding power, basically, of the wrecker.
A little extra oomph.
What a lot of viewers don't know is on that job, I broke one of my winches.
Oh.
And by the end of the job, I was trying to operate with one hand behind my back.
Yeah, go easy, Al. That's what I like to see.
That's a prime example of being way in the middle of nowhere. You've got to be able to adapt.
Sign of a good operator.
It'd be nice to get air to it right now and get it to release so that it rolls back.
Basically, you had Gord in there steering it.
I always get nervous doing this part.
He was only in there for a few minutes to just push the button so that the brakes would release.
Gord, we should be okay.
I tell you, I wouldn't want to be Gord inside that cab.
I didn't want to do it either. That's why I got Gord.
That's why you sent Gord.
Beautiful.
We're good.
Okay.
To me, it didn't look like it had any real damage to it.
Damn, we're good.
You know, that truck, after we recovered it, we towed it back down to their shop. The very next day, that truck was back hauling again.
Really? Some fine recovery work when they can drive it the next day.
I look at those jobs as a tribute to my dad and a tribute to my grandpa.
The knowledge, yeah?
Definitely.
Seems to be quite a few recovery jobs on this back road.
I see you had a back road job where it was very rainy, muddy.
That was a bit of a pain.
You had a propane truck that was stuck in a driveway.
So you're right there. Okay.
The distance had to be 800 to 1,000 feet down the hill. There was no way I was going to winch it out with winch line alone.
Holy. Well, what we've got is the grounds. You know, things are soft right now.
And you're walking in muck, really.
There was snow that day, and it was wet and sloppy.
We could end up in trouble here, too. I might end up winching myself out.
So it was commit yourself to going in there, get him out, and hope like heck you could get back up the hill.
So you brought the Python to this job.
The Python is the perfect recovery truck. That truck has been one of the best trucks I've ever bought. I mean,
Really?
It's just an amazing machine. We get him back on the road.
Pretty good there? I'm gonna just gun it as fast as I can and see if I can get up there.
That looked like a very narrow driveway.
It was.
All it takes is one wheel to go off, and you're in a mess.
We spun out in that hairpin curve there.
God dang it.
And then I thought to myself, well, I'll try to go backwards up there, maybe a little better shot. Plus, I'd have my back end, you know, facing upwards where I could winch myself back.
Okay, we're done. Well, I call these trees Holmes trees. We could pull on them with the wreckers.
The Holmes tree, that was a good idea.
The Holmes tree really comes from the old Holmes wreckers.
Just hope that this tree is strong enough.
Engineering and physics have not changed.
No.
They were the same in the 50s than they are now.
Exactly.
Trees are trees, winches are winches.
Little bit, little bit, little bit. So I've got myself out.
So now I have to get him out of there.
Okay, so we'll see you at the top.
It's one of those jobs that just keeps going.
Yeah.
Gibber.
We spent all day winching ourselves out of it.
We're almost on the home stretch here.
So at the end, you got him out. I bet you he was happy.
We're all good? Perfect. We'll take it easy on you. Guess you're off to work now, eh?
Yeah.
How long did that job take you?
Probably I spent as much time winching him out as I did myself.
You go out, you think, oh, it's a quick job.
Yeah, you've been on them too, where you go out there and then you're there for 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
We got another one here, boys. Oh, no way. He's right in the weeds.
Hey, Mitch. How
How's
you
it going,
doing?
Jamie?
So how long have you been in the recovery business, and what do you actually do at Reliable?
I've been doing recovery now for about 9 years, and at Reliable, I'm kind of our general manager, as well as running the big wrecker.
Come on. There we go.
So you basically have a family history in the towing business as well.
Yeah, I started out outside of the family biz, and then...
Married into it?
Yeah, pretty much.
I haven't worked Merritt as much. You actually do quite a bit of off-road work there?
Yeah, there's a lot of back roads. A lot of people seem to find some trouble in some way, shape, or form.
Where was this camper recovery at? Like, how far out?
This is a problem.
It was up Murray Lake Road. It's a Forest Service road, often a very common space for campers to head out.
These people are lucky.
How far down was the cliff there?
Probably went down about, I'd say, 150 to 200 feet. They just got lucky enough where they stopped up against that tree. So James had called me and said, do we do it?
So these people are really stranded.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
We can't leave them there.
How much further up?
We had to drive for about 45 minutes off-road to just get up to where he was.
So you got some decent weight,
Yeah.
probably 1,200 pounds.
You know, getting on scene and looking around a bit. How are you gonna do this recovery?
It was tough, but we had to find a way to make it work. Given that we didn't have a lot of space to work with, my truck up front doing the majority of the kind of dead pull. We had James on the back, and we had him focus on more of the trailer.
So 2 units working together.
Exactly.
I'm gonna start pulling.
Just keep steady.
So once you guys get all rigged up on this job, there's really no turning back.
Once you start pulling, you have to keep pulling until that's up on the road.
Hold on. Mitch?
I got like 8 inches air under the front tire.
Keep pulling.
James's front end comes off the ground.
I gotta lower my boom.
With your boom stuck out, you're cantilevering your truck pretty bad.
Leverage.
Exactly. He noticed it right away and wanted to bring his boom both down and in.
You know, back in the old Holmes twin boom days, we didn't have extendable booms, so
Yeah.
it was what it was. There was no changing any angles or doing anything.
Yeah, you're hooking and pulling.
Yeah, pull
That's
till
it.
the cows come home.
Yeah.
So once he kind of drew everything back and down,
It was a noticeable difference.
Everything is moving the way that we want it to.
She's coming.
and then you decided to use the truck's own power. How did that work out?
Well, at first it worked flawless.
Say when you're ready, Cody.
Yeah, good to go.
All right, moment of truth.
It helped us to kind of have that rolling momentum behind the wheels while we're winching it. So it was giving us that little bit of an extra edge.
We're golden, buddy.
We're at that point now where she should be able to climb back out of there kind of on her own steam.
So you're gonna put yourself in that truck, and then you end up putting your swamper on the wrecker.
Okay, ready? Nice and slow. Keep pulling.
Keep going.
All the way to the front.
It started to move. There was like 3 or 4 feet worth of progression that we made, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, we're on our way.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, whoa.
And all of a sudden it loses traction.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! Whoa! Get out of the way.
You're inside,
Oh,
and
yeah.
this thing starts sliding back. The recovery's throwing you a curveball that you never seen coming.
That situation was probably one of our worst nightmares.
Stiff legs, down.
Whoa!
I was really impressed and amazed with the quick thinking, put the spade down. Wow.
Oh yeah. I knew right away, stiff legs is gonna be the only answer to stop this. Dig those things in as far as we can and hope that that stops everything.
Ay, ay, ay.
Amazing quick thinking.
Yeah, and it worked. I dug them in and it just went and stopped. That was it, so.
You start winching again? We're almost at the top of the bank now. Hey, hey, hey!
You guys hit that out of the park. Really nice.
Thank you so much, guys. I so appreciate that.
That was a textbook job. Amazing workmanship.
Awesome, yeah. No, I really appreciate that.
What do you think the biggest difficulties are when you're dealing with water, rivers and lakes? And
It's the unknown resistance. You know, is there logs buried in the mud that's poking up, gonna rip things off? You don't know those facts, especially because it's underwater. We're 50 miles easy from the ocean. Believe it or not, that far inland, we're still affected by the tide.
So really time's the essence.
The last thing I want to do is take a $500,000 wrecker into the river flats there and bury it. Straight on down. My friend Daryl that lives not too far away and come with his excavator. It's about using the right tool for the right job.
We should be putting these on to go fishing for fish instead of trucks.
Pretty difficult to hook this thing up even when it's underwater.
Luckily, I had my hip waders and I walked in and I was hoping that he didn't have a rabbit bumper on the front of this truck.
There's a tow hook.
It had a good Kenworth quality heavy-duty tow hook on it.
Nice. That made the difference in
I
the
was
whole job.
relieved.
Okay, Daryl. Come on.
Did you feel the suction when you were pulling it out?
Oh yeah, Daryl's excavator was standing on its tippy toes.
Hold it.
It was a pretty good match, pull versus resistance.
Pull on her, Daryl. There's pretty good fishing right here tonight.
Big hook equals big fish.
You can't take that Kenworth home and eat it, though.
No.
So whereabouts is this recovery?
It's up at Stave Lake, the mud flats. We get quite a few stuck vehicles there, and these guys get way out there, and they got stuck like this fella did, and then the water came up.
I see you got Dylan there, and there's a couple other guys. Who are they?
Yeah, we got Craig there and Ted there.
Sometimes you need everybody out there
Oh
helping
yeah,
out.
it's a lot of work when you're in the mud flats.
You in line with it here?
What exactly are you bringing out for this job?
We sent 2 trucks out, thinking one possibly could get stuck. The other thing we took out on this is a boat.
Let's go fishing, buddy.
I'm not a water person. I don't like going out in boats. Leave it up to those guys to do that.
How we doing up there, Captain?
I'm steering the ship here.
I heard something about a mechanical failure on the Nimitz there. What happened with the boat?
I ended up, believe it or not, having to buy a new engine for that boat. They threw the cable broke the engine.
Really?
Top of the engine, yes.
Let's see what we're up against. Whoa, there's a big deep hole there, buddy.
So it must have been a bit of a challenge for the guys to hook this thing up.
You know, you're working blind. You gotta just sort of reach under and trying to find your place to hook it.
Now shackle this to your next line.
Lots of lengths of cable going on there, too.
You're out quite a ways. That's a lot of cable pulling.
Yeah. You don't know what's under the water.
No idea. There's lots of stumps in that lake.
Hey, we got a whale!
It can get hooked and break.
I can feel it pulling against the chalk.
You gotta let your lines go free, and you just gotta keep going.
We'll almost be ashore here pretty soon. She's a mucky mess.
Basically, it starts raining up there, it turns into a mud hole. It packs like clay to fill your grooves in your tires. You got no traction.
Wonderful stave, mud. Yeah, it's just digging.
So Dylan gets stuck here. What do you guys do to get out of that jackpot?
Call the Dodge.
Call the old homes in?
Yes, call the old homes in.
Here, I'll get it. You go run your truck. Okay.
Even with the 4-wheel drive in that muck, he started to spin.
Stop there.
The front end comes off the ground.
Yes. It was just too heavy for that mud.
He's trying to disconnect the truck.
Unhook the vehicle like he did.
Maybe give it a little less weight.
When he drops off the truck, he's got more traction, plus it's easier to pull him out.
Right.
Straighten his wheels.
Dylan's actually going through a bit of a learning curve because you would have known that already. You would have known the ending before the beginning.
Yeah, but you try it. You try it.
Tighten that bad boy up, I'll steer it out.
There's no easy way sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to do it the hard way.
Just like butter.
It's raining pretty hard again here. once the weatherman's ready.
So, you know, you're on this back road dump truck recovery. To me, that's a pins and needles job. What were you thinking when you pulled up on that job?
Boy, you're very close to that edge. Yep. Holy smokes, is that slippery.
What I was worried about is pulling that truck and the bank giving away.
That thing's ready to go down the bank.
Definitely.
That's a big, steep hill.
It's quite a ways down.
All that's really holding it is this tire here. She could just go on us like bang right now.
What kind of weight would have been in that dump truck?
Probably 50,000 pounds. And it's also filling up the water at the same time. That adds extra weight.
That's a bit of a big job
Yes,
for
one truck.
One truck.
I would have loved to have called in another tow truck, but I don't think we would have had time.
Had to do or die.
Yeah.
You got a big farm tractor coming that's gonna give me a hand. It's not the way I like doing things, but in this case, utilize what you have on the job site.
Lucky to even have that tractor. Like, where'd that come
That's
from?
right. The tractor is actually gonna try to pull it out at first. They started to try it and the truck started to go, so they stopped.
I'm gonna get a good chain on there.
Without anything in the front of that dump truck, you're gonna have a problem. You need that extra pull.
Here we go. Take her ahead a little bit.
When I hooked onto the back of that, I was actually lifting plus pulling it ahead at the same time.
Turn over toward me. This way. How's it looking by the ditch? Are we out of there yet?
That tractor had a lot of torque on it. It's amazing for pulling that dump truck ahead.
Big horsepower.
That's looking a lot better.
When we got the truck out, now we come to the trailer.
Yeah, she's sliding already. Oh man, that's our next problem.
The trailer is short, so you got to watch how you're pulling that because those little trailers can kick sideways quick.
I want you to go ahead, not backwards, okay? Don't roll backwards, whatever you do. Okay.
You're doing a lot with a little there. You know, being able to use the dump truck and the wrecker at the same time.
And if I pulled it too fast, the back end wanted to go.
Do you think it was a mistake for the driver to unhook the trailer?
Slide, left turn, there we go. You hold it, hold it.
For me to pull it, it was probably better it was unhooked.
We got her, yeah.
That to me was pretty nice recovery.
Thank you.
That's one of them ones you go home and pat yourself on the back. Yeah, I did it.
It's off. I'm running out of steam.
Doing recovery work is a very physical challenge. You're pulling and winching, and you're pushing yourself to the max.
To the limit.
Oh.
I was thinking, am I getting too old for this job? Because at the end of it, I felt like I am just totally worn out.
Perfect.
Sometime after that job, you ended up having a huge medical thing.
I had a very major medical issue with my heart.
And you spent some time in hospital and going through all that. Those are some tough times.
Yeah.
A guy works his butt off 24 hours a day and you give your all.
Yes.
Right? Look back in time, everything you've done and everybody that you've helped out, it's tough.
It is. I feel very lucky I'm alive. I made it. We're all getting older. And time waits for nobody, they say, right?
You still have the drive to get out there and do it.
You still want to do it. I'm not a guy that can sit around.
It's really good to see you doing well, really.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm still here, so that's the main thing.
Off-road is some of the best work we do.
Recovery is fun. I love recovery.
When you go to that off-road recovery world, it's way better than working in downtown Vancouver by a long shot.
Yes, we got it.
We love that stuff. That's the stuff that really makes us happy at the end of the day.
Yes, sir.
We're definitely not office guys.
No. By no means. By no means.
I love the back road stuff. This is the best place to be. Very special.
Good job.
It's a good day's work, It's just you and the machine and the mountain.
It's what we enjoy doing. Thank you, Jamie. It's been really good to see you.
We'll see you in the back road, James.
All right. Enjoy the next off-road recovery.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
It's been nice seeing you. I gotta get on the highway again.
Thing's gonna come over hard.
This time, on Highway Thru Hell.
Wow.
A lost load
Hey, keep an eye out.
puts Jamie's crew
Stand back.
over the edge.
No.
Watch out.
It's another stuck excavator.
A sinking feeling
I'm gonna sink out of sight.
places Al on a perilous path.
Oh.
And
Hearing rumors you want to lead.
is it the end of the road
You need to give me a decision one way or the other.
for Colin?
I need to know.
Oh, how is it today?
It's beautiful and sunny up there right now.
Near Hope, British Columbia.
Yeah, you're ready to spring.
Blue skies and dry roads are a welcome sight to long-haul truckers.
It's a walk in the park, my friend.
But the end of winter delivers a new hazard. Higher speeds on the mountain routes.
What's Highway 3 like?
And this morning, on a highway east of Hope,
There's something going on up around the Alice Pass there.
there's trouble.
Gotta get an accident scene up here.
Minutes later, a classic wrecker heads to the call.
Jamie Davis is on the...
We don't know what we're gonna find here, but it's probably a big mess.
Jamie isn't taking any chances, bringing along his most powerful truck, the General.
Highway 3 is one of the most treacherous roads. It has curves, up and down hills, huge grades. If you just drop your tension level for just a second, you could be going down 1,000 feet.
30 miles up the winding road.
Holy, what a mess.
Jamie arrives at a rollover.
You roll up on a job like this, and it's a big deal.
Wow.
The overturned lumber truck and its load of 2x4s have shut down the highway.
Pretty ugly mess here.
A lumber truck wreck is very intense. It's time-consuming and takes a lot of manpower.
The lumber truck lost control on a tight corner. Rolled. Spilling its cargo across the road. And down an 80-foot embankment. Miraculously, the driver escaped with minor injuries.
A lot of this load is on the roadway, but there's lumber over the bank and all the way down to the river.
Recovering lumber from the unstable slope will be a treacherous job.
It's a mess.
On the highway through hell, closure is not an option. Near Allison Pass,
Anybody know how long they're gonna have the highway shut down here?
Man, oh man.
Jamie is called out to a lumber wreck that's cut off Highway 3. Minutes later,
Oh, look at that.
his lead operator, Colin McLean, arrives in HR 126.
Lumber everywhere. The whole mountainside's covered in it.
It's gonna be a lot of hard work to clean this mess up.
All right, let's get this highway open.
With traffic at a standstill, the pressure's on to clear a lane.
Colin and I are gonna both use multiple lines to get this unit flipped over and out of the way.
Jamie rigs from the General to the trailer.
I'm gonna run a high line and a low line. Colin's gonna work on the tractor.
And Colin adds lines from HR 126.
When they're light like this, they can come over a little quick. Things can break. You can twist the trailer. You just don't want to cause any more damage than has already been done.
You all right, boss?
Colin and Jamie are ready to roll the wreck.
I'm good.
Back onto its wheels.
You're all set up?
Yes, sir.
Fired up. Let's get going.
But the two trucks' winches operate at different speeds.
Okay, wind her up.
Jim, I'll wait for you to get the trailer up a bit.
Okay. Colin's truck has newer style winches, and winch line speed is a lot faster than a General. He doesn't want to dig in. You do more.
We really have to make sure that both trucks are working together so that we don't have some kind of catastrophic failure.
Hey, let me just tighten up a bit.
Okay.
That thing's gonna come over hard. Stand back. Perfect. So that went really well.
I'm just gonna get hooked up to it here real quick just to get it off the road.
With the semi cleared,
We're starting to roll. I see the line moving up ahead.
one lane is open,
The traffic is moving northbound.
but the rest of the highway won't be available anytime soon.
So what we're gonna do is load the lumber actually back on his own trailer.
For Colin, this stretch of the highway also brings back hard memories.
You know, it was only just down the road where we had that really bad one where the guy was trapped for a couple of days.
Oh my God.
It's a haunting reminder.
I've been in that thing for 2 days. I can't even imagine.
Of lives lost on this harrowing mountain road.
I just want to put this one behind me. Same brake check, same hill. You know, it's sad.
As he tows the wrecked tractor back to Hope,
Kind of going through a little bit of a life thing here right now.
Colin's got a lot on his mind.
Priorities in my life are definitely changed. Certain things are more important in my life right now than getting a guy out of the ditch at 3:30 in the morning.
Can anybody tell me what it's like on the connector?
100 miles northeast, near Merritt.
Slow down, you got a big accident ahead of you there.
Looks like it's going to be a fun day for Team Reliable.
A 30-ton wrecker responds to a crash east of town.
I was getting ready to give the truck a wash and probably head home. Didn't even get a chance to warm it up.
James Luke thought his day was done.
There is a rollover.
But the reliable operator is needed on one more call.
Right there.
It's a wreck with a twist.
Everybody okay there?
Oh man, oh man.
The rear unit on the refrigerated hauler, known as a pup trailer, landed hard in the center median.
Safety chains? If you didn't have those attached, it'd probably be a whole different story.
When the driver swerved and tried to recover, The pup rolled.
Does that have anything in it? No, nothing on the trailer. Okay.
With daylight fading fast,
Okay.
James can already tell it's a tricky recovery.
If this trailer comes over too fast, there's a high chance that it'll flop back over onto its other side.
The driver takes the main trailer away, leaving the empty pup.
It's the back trailer, laying right on its side in the ditch.
James calls for backup.
Yeah, like pronto.
Hitting the road in his 7-ton wrecker
Hopefully we get this done nice and quick. It's starting to get dark out.
is the reliable operator everyone calls Rooster.
Time to pop a rooster.
After 2 years operating deck trucks and 1-tons,
It's here.
Rooster has been promoted to a medium-duty wrecker.
The jobs are getting bigger and more complicated, and I'm ready for the challenge.
Since you're the rooster, it could be the hen.
That's the hen house. Rooster's hen house.
When Rooster arrives,
All right, let's go have some fun.
it's fully dark.
He's very experienced. He's been towing for quite a long time. You know, I trust the guy with my life.
Okay, Roosty.
It's Rooster's first chance to prove he's ready for bigger jobs and a bigger wrecker.
I'm excited to use this truck.
On the other side,
It's the first job that it's going out to do.
I'm gonna pull, flop it, and drop it in this lane.
The good old flop and drop.
I'm gonna low line both of them to the wheels. You'll be the control line on this side.
But to get the job done,
Coming on down the road.
James and Rooster will have to work on opposite sides of the road. On one side, James and Black Sheep will winch the trailer up off the ground, while on the other, Rooster will run a control line to stop the wreck from rolling too far. Straps are rigged to the underside,
Did you want to pass me my cable?
and Rooster's control line is secured to the top of the trailer.
A cock-a-doodle-doo.
The highway is closed in both directions,
10 minutes. Max 10 minutes.
and James has promised to be quick.
Okay, I'm ready to go. Okay, let's do this thing.
So we have all the lanes closed. We'll try and keep it down to within 10 minutes and get everybody moving again.
Closed up both ways, everybody.
The countdown is on,
We gotta go like now.
and James lines up the Black Sheep for the pull.
Good. Okay, let's get the lines run out and flip this over and get the hell out of here. I'll run this one out, you run that one out. Woo! Keep going, Rooster!
I want the wheels to plant into the ground, and I'm gonna pull the whole trailer back up and over.
Okay.
On the opposite side of the median, Rooster mans the control line.
It's the first job with the truck. I'm not sure exactly how the truck's gonna perform.
Ready? Crank it!
James starts to pull.
Uh-oh.
But the trailer refuses to roll.
Come on.
There's a lot of resistance. The trailer's sliding along the ground.
Rooster, slack yours off!
I think maybe Rooster's truck is not able to keep up to mine.
Come on, you bastard.
With all eyes on the recovery, the quick flip
Rooster!
is going sideways.
She's closed up both ways, everybody.
On a highway east of Merritt,
Come on.
James and Rooster
Keep going!
fight to get momentum on a wreck
Come on, let's go!
from opposite sides of the highway.
I can't see where Rooster is. There's a high chance that his lines are too tight, and I'm fighting against him.
Nothing's moving right now.
Slack yours right off! It is.
With our lack of communication, he thinks that I'm pulling against him, but my cable was already slacked off.
To get the pup trailer back onto its wheels, James adjusts a snatch block.
Come on.
To increase leverage.
Okay. It wasn't Rooster's truck that was causing the issue. It was just the angle it was pulling from.
I want yours slacked right off.
Yep.
Let's try this again.
With a new direction,
It's moving now.
the trailer starts to come over.
Here it comes, here it comes. Okay, put a little bit of tension on it.
Now the landing is in Rooster's hands.
That's a pretty big responsibility being the control line.
You gotta work with it.
The trailer could hit the ground too hard and roll over.
How's it look? Is it good? It's all you.
Rooster tries to ease the trailer back onto its wheels.
Come on, baby. Touchdown!
We got the trailer down safely. It's a big relief.
Back your winch right out. I'm taking your winch off. Okay.
James tucks Black Sheep out of the way.
Good.
And with one lane free,
Send them through.
the highway is open.
They've opened it up. Traffic's moving. Right on.
Good enough. Good enough.
It feels great to wrap it all up.
And on his first job in a larger record, Rooster has something to crow about.
Rooster did a good job on one of our first wrecks together.
I'm feeling great. The hen house performed amazingly, and I'm ready to go on to the next one.
Time to go home.
The next morning, near Allison Pass,
So they could get set up. I've got harnesses for the guys.
Jamie and Colin are dealing with a massive lumber cleanup on Highway 3.
This is J-grade lumber, which goes to Japan. So this is very, very nice lumber.
All right, Will, you ready?
This wood is still in great shape. The more that we can salvage intact, the better it is for everyone.
Planks on the side of the road are quickly stacked. But the rest of the lumber on the steep slopes of the Skagit River will be an uphill battle.
The river's not exactly a little creek. It's a rushing stream right now.
Spring rapids
If you get in that river, you're not coming back.
are another concern.
I got 2 harnesses. Yep. 2 ropes for 2 guys.
Paris will be one of the first down the bank.
My past experience doing some really haywire stuff, this is kind of right up my alley.
He's gonna back right up.
A 1-ton is positioned close to the edge to winch the wood up the bank.
Paris is going to go down the bank and try to bundle the lumber up down there. We're gonna winch it up in sections. He's in a dangerous spot down there and he's gotta be careful.
Lock it in. This is probably one of the steepest embankments I've gone down.
Slow, slow, slow.
Scary part is getting on the other side here and grabbing the line. It's called being in the bite. It looks very sketchy.
Paris wraps a strap around the first bundle of wood.
One.
Well, the danger over the embankment is high. There's a lot of things that could go wrong. I mean, Paris is right in the middle of it.
And if we don't disturb it, it shouldn't fall.
Good to go?
Yep.
The first load is ready.
It's like a deck of cards. The don't want to go this way or that way. There she goes. And you're trying to get them up the bank.
But as the bundle comes up the slope,
Paris, just keep an eye out.
the chance of something going wrong only rises.
The angle that we're on, it's just not good.
Watch out.
He's got to watch out for lumber coming down from overhead.
Stand back! Stand back!
Paris, watch out!
Oh boy, that's a mess.
On the edge of the Skagit River, Jamie's crew
Here it comes.
begin to haul up the scattered pieces of a lumber wreck.
Watch out.
But loose planks
Paris, watch out!
Oh, no.
nearly knock Paris into the raging waters below.
You all right?
I just about fell over backwards there.
Those 2x4s there are not worth anybody's life.
You know, just got to pull their britches up, get up, and keep rolling with the punches.
Okay, going up.
Finally,
You're almost up.
the first load of lumber makes it up to the road. But it's slow going.
Not much on that one, eh?
Boy, he's just got a hornet's nest of wood here. He's bundling it together as best as he can, and it's difficult to be on that kind of an angle and actually pack this lumber up the hill.
At this rate, it's gonna take a long day, eh?
The painstaking work is still hours away from completion.
Time is it now?
And Jamie has to get back to Hope.
I can't stick around to help out with this wreck.
We'll put Colin in charge, okay? Then I don't feel so bad leaving.
Colin's the senior guy here. He can take the lead on this one.
Okay, see you guys.
Okay.
It's up to Colin to take it to the finish line.
We need to get a little bit more organized here and come up with a better plan.
Colin's been around these things for a long time, so it's nice for me to be able to leave him in charge.
Here's the chain.
Colin decides to tackle the job with more workers and more bundles.
I want to do it this way.
I'm gonna send a couple more guys down the embankment. We're gonna stack some of these 2x4s, make some bundles that we can get good grips on, bring them up the hill, restock them on the trailer.
Let's try and clean out this bottom area right here. Don't go past this tree.
And hopefully we can get out of here a little bit quicker.
All clear? Okay, we're getting a pretty good load coming up here, I think, eh?
A wreck like this takes a team effort from everyone.
Colin, let's go.
Bringing more up the hill in less time.
You guys are doing great.
Making sure that everybody works together to get that job done, to get the highway open.
That's probably the best pile that's come up in the smoothest out of all of them. That's a decent Jimmy pile right there.
Almost got her beat.
Almost got her beat.
I don't know, a big old logging pecker would be even nicer.
After 5 grueling hours on the slope,
Ding dong.
Colin's strategy pays off.
Everything's out from down there. Pick up our pylons and signs, and we're out of here.
Okay. A lot of hard work. Everybody's safe. We got the job done, and big win for us.
Got her beat, Jimmy. Got her beat.
How's number 3 looking? Excellent.
The recovery is over.
I'm gonna feel this in the morning, that's for sure.
But for Colin, the job is starting to take its toll.
The toll life is definitely a strain. I've been at that for 20 years. Winter's over, summer's on its way here. We'll see where we go from there.
125 miles west in the Fraser Valley,
Here's a wrecker on his way.
a battle-worn Vulcan wrecker
Then the Green Goblin
is called out for a heavy showdown.
Not every day is a Coke the job.
Al Quiring pulls up to a farm, ready for something messy.
There we go.
And muddy.
The last thing I'm gonna do is drive my truck out into a mud bog. It's like porridge.
Today, Al comes face to face with a 50,000-pound excavator disappearing in deep mud.
I got a 200 excavator buried almost out of sight here.
The crew was building a road at the farm when the machine got stuck.
This peat bog, basically. And they're scraping the top coat off to build a road right across the property.
Overnight, the excavator sank even further.
Every time that train goes by, it makes it go down, right? It sounds funny, but that bouncing.
Yesterday, it was sitting on top, and then the train crossing with the vibrations and the weight of the machine, it's like quicksand, and it's sinking.
Now it's up to Al to save the excavator before it slips under.
We're gonna rip this tractor out of here.
This isn't Al's first standoff with a stuck excavator.
Come on, pull on her.
Over the years,
Give her some throttle.
Quiring has built a reputation for handling monster recoveries.
Woo!
Usually with his bulldozers.
It's another stuck excavator.
But today, Al's only got his heavy wrecker, an unfinished road,
Oh, man.
and a giant pool of water.
But I'm just worrying about if that's a big hole.
We have a bit of water in front of the machine, and I'm concerned about how deep it might be.
Al can't get close enough for the pull.
There's no road. You guys don't understand. I gotta park my tow truck on there too.
Big Green could get stuck,
I'd like to try and get some lines on this thing.
but he can't afford to wait.
The machine could flood out over the evening and not be runnable in the morning.
Not so good.
It's a tough choice. Risk losing the excavator or his truck.
As with any recovery, you've got to weigh out the pros, the cons.
With the sun setting,
I don't like pulling in the dark.
Al has to make a decision.
Ask yourself the question, what possibly could go wrong?
The race is on.
In BC's Fraser Valley,
This is all tidal flat here.
Al Quiring faces a setting sun and a sinking excavator.
We're close proximity to the ocean, and then twice a day the tide comes in.
The incoming tide is a big concern to Al and to the farmer.
Well, the water table's high right now. The clay gets really soft when it's wet.
And the water will only get deeper.
Chances are when the tide comes in, the machine's going to be underwater.
Al can't wait until morning.
I would like to attack the situation right now.
If we can build a road up,
Heavy equipment is already on site,
the closer we can get, the more advantage we have.
so the push is on to finish the road.
The rock and roll party's here now.
It's not the first time Al has had to build a road into a peat bog. On previous jobs, he's had to lay down logs to rescue a stuck machine.
I'm not going anywhere until the road is built. You got more gravel coming?
Today, instead of logs, they're using gravel.
The better this is, the easier it'll come on.
As the crew races to finish the road,
Can you get under there and get that dirt?
Al needs to clear mud so he can wrap a line around the excavator.
In any excavator recovery, the hardest part sometimes is getting hooked to the machine.
This little fella here is gonna solve some problems.
That's the most time-consuming part of the whole recovery.
That's probably good there.
The top of the excavator is now accessible.
And what I'll do is I'll just hook the strap onto the step.
So Al can wrap a thick line around the cab.
Bring them right up to the edge there. And you'll go right around and that'll pull this cable. Okay, good.
Rigged to the 25-ton target.
We can keep its front end up. I'll just keep pulling. Slow speed on the track, not spinning.
Al is ready to take a shot.
What do you think? Think so? Hey, you want to try?
With the daylight diminishing and concerns of the tide coming in overnight, we're just gonna start pulling on this machine and hope for the best.
Al backs Big Green in closer to the wreck on the makeshift road.
When I'm backing in, I gotta use caution.
I don't like that.
You can feel how soft that road really is.
Well, we're gonna try to pull it. Hopefully it comes out.
This thing is very heavy and it's worth a lot of money. And if something goes wrong, that can be a real problem for us.
Even with the extended road, Al's truck is still 60 feet away from the excavator.
Once I get tight, let's try and pick the front of the machine up, get your tracks so they're heading to Canada instead of China.
You risk pulling the excavator down in softer mud. The more you dig, the more it could plow down.
Here we go, boys.
Al starts to whinge.
My truck weighs 60,000. We're gonna be 120,000 pounds worth of pull.
Big Green may be able to handle the load, but the temporary road is another story.
You gotta watch that it doesn't start tipping to one side.
The mud's iron grip and the machine's massive weight are turning it into a battle.
Oh yeah, we got water issues here.
But on fresh gravel, Al's wrecker is sinking.
I gotta sink out of sight. Let's just get on with it.
In the Fraser Valley,
holy frig,
Al's wrecker is losing ground.
I gotta sink out of sight.
Trying to rescue an excavator from a bog.
We don't need anything more stuck.
The more it leans, the more it's gonna tip, and eventually you just get stuck.
But Al will use a design feature so Big Green can save itself.
The Vulcan wrecker, they're totally engineered for this type of environment. The outrigger's got a provision where I can hook a log, in this case an oak timber, underneath each outrigger.
Al lowers its outriggers onto the wood.
Sit on it like a pad,
and stabilizes the truck.
It helps make the wrecker that much more stable, increases the pulling capacity.
I'll start giving you some pull. Don't spin your tracks, just very slow.
Okay.
Al begins round 2.
Here we go, boys. Tighten her up. Okay, stop.
But he needs the driver to make it happen.
If you have that boom out, it's gonna make the machine kind of nosedive.
Moving the boom changes the excavator's center of gravity.
If you fold it all back and get it up, that machine will just kind of lay back like a big old fat water skier, slide right out of there on its tracks.
With light fading, Al tries again.
All right, here we go.
Most guys throttle right up and try and spin the tracks thinking they're getting out of the hole faster. And the winch will only pull so fast anyways.
Just give it a little.
Okay.
Climbing out of the bog. Slow and steady.
We're good.
Wins the game.
Awesome. That was pretty awesome.
Those Vulcan wreckers, they make jobs like this easy.
All right, we're out here.
Still got daylight left. We're gonna be barbecuing at home in no time.
For Al, it's a solid ending. Wrapping up another challenging season out west.
You never know what to really expect. Every day is an adventure in the towing industry, especially around here.
Beauty, another one done.
That's the big 10-4.
High on the coke.
Warm up there, really warm.
The snow is receding.
Denver!
But there's trouble on the mountain road.
We're heading up Highway 5 right now, just north of the snow shed.
Cam Nino is on his way in the truck he's spent all winter trying to master.
I like driving that General. The more I drive it, the more I like it.
Near Mine Creek Road.
Holy, look at that.
Cam spots the driver in distress.
How did you do that? Look at his hairs are off the ground. Definitely a head scratcher, yeah.
The semi is halfway in the ditch on a blind curve.
Hey, slow down. We got a accident coming up. Single lane traffic through there.
How's it going? What happened? I think the guy fell asleep. The end result of not knowing your limits. Okay, let me have a look here.
Cam gets a closer look. Back wheels in the air. And beside a rock wall, leaning hard on soft ground.
You know, it's getting soft in here too, right? The trailer goes over, then the tractor goes over. Right now, I'm worried about it flipping over. The guy had fell asleep and he's off the road.
Cam calls for backup.
His tractor's ready to slide down in the ditch and his trailer bogies are about 2 feet off the ground.
He needs to anchor the semi.
I'm gonna probably need another truck.
Heading up the coke,
Living the dream.
Jamie is on his way in his new 30-ton wrecker.
Cam thinks the call's a little bit complicated, so I'm gonna go give him a hand. This will be the first time we're actually using this truck for any kind of recovery work. I try to keep them as nice as I can, as long as I can, but there is the point in time when it's, okay, we gotta work this truck. There he is, down there.
There's so much going on these wrecks, and you know, Jamie's such a smart guy. You really gotta pay attention to even the little things he does that you don't see. Any experience I can get from him, I'll gladly take. They say they're 25% loaded.
The trailer is partly empty, but still contains 15,000 pounds of cargo.
If I start pulling them out and it starts to go that way, then I'm stuck, you know what I mean?
I'll just put a low line on the suspension and pull down.
And I'll just get the toe pin and we'll just pull them out.
It's really an urgent situation to get onto that trailer, hook up to it, hold it, and make sure it's not gonna flip over. He's made the right call here to hold that trailer down.
With the Mack rigged to the back, Jamie will hold on to the trailer, while Cam pulls the tractor forward with the General.
Brandon's here.
Brandon arrives to set up traffic control, and Jamie moves the Mack into position.
Yeah, now we're getting hooked up and get the job done.
To help Cam and the General.
Okay.
Jamie prepares to lower the Mack spades.
First time I ever use this.
Pulls out a pristine winch line.
These are new lightweight snatch blocks.
And adds brand new blocks to his rigging.
Shiny old girl, shiny new girl.
We're not gonna really pull that hard, but This is more of a safety thing. I'm making sure the back end of the trailer stays on the ground. So I'm gonna tighten it up.
The trailer is secure.
Nice and easy.
So Cam and Jamie run lines from the general to the tractor's toe pins.
It's a little bit tricky, you know, right on an edge like that. Easily you could flip over.
The blind curve adds urgency to the pull.
You're in a bit of a pressure cooker here because you've got to work fast, do it right, and get off the road.
Not a little bit on that.
But even with the driver's help,
Watch what's going on.
the heavy load is tipping the trailer towards the ditch.
If it has a high center of gravity, it could end up in disaster.
We're in the air. Something's gonna break.
They got the right lane blocked. Lower down.
On the coke,
We're in the air.
Jamie and Cam are at a critical moment,
Okay, suck it up.
trying to rescue a semi on a severe slant.
It's a delicate job, and it's a job that has to be handled with care, or it could result in a rollover.
Good.
We're coming into this thing with a truck that has no damage,
Whoa.
and hopefully at the end, it'll be that way when it's on the road.
Gently, the tilted load is winched out of the soft shoulder.
Got her. I can take mine off.
Jamie's new record
Okay.
made the difference
I'll pack my stuff up.
Okay.
and is now officially broken in on its first recovery.
The Mac is a beautiful machine. I think it's probably the best truck we've ever owned.
I'm gonna get unhooked and then I'll pull ahead and you can pull in behind me, okay?
Cam knew he needed that second truck and he made the right call. If he continues to make the right decisions, he'll have success.
With a fresh driver behind the wheel, the load is on its way.
But he's pretty happy. He was just hanging on to my hand and he said, thank you, thank you. So that's what you like to see. That makes me happy.
What's the latest on the coke?
And two eras of trucks are homeward bound.
The coke's beautiful, my friend. Oh man, look at that blue sky.
Back in Hope,
I gotta get a filter for this too. I'm gonna change the filter.
Jamie and Colin are servicing the trucks
Look.
and clearing the air.
So I'm hearing rumors you want to leave in April. You got a gig in the city. Is that what you're after?
I don't know what
Like, just let me know what you're doing, though.
I don't know what
I've been hearing mumbles and rumors that Colin, really doesn't want to tow anymore.
I'm getting ticked about it in a nice way.
Well, there's been some talk about it, just to kind of let him know that, I'm interested in pursuing this next chapter of my life. And he's in a little bit of denial about it.
That's it, we're pretty much done.
Colin wants to spend more time with his partner, but towing pulls them apart.
Hey, baby, I'm out of the kill zone.
I love her to death. Being on the road, it sort of takes away from that.
So you're saying it's a maybe. You're getting to be like a Riddler. I need to know that I've got somebody out there doing the job, so it is or it isn't. No bull. You need to give me a decision one way or the other.
Decent, Jimmy, decent.
For the past 6 years, Colin has been Jamie's right-hand man.
You found it a lot of work to drive?
It's definitely a lot of work. I don't know how you old-timers did it back in the day.
Out of all the people that have come through our place, he has to be the best guy I've ever had.
Woo!
The guy is top shelf.
All right, put her in gear.
Certainly there's other people out there, but not all of them have been the warrior that Colin's been. I'm getting emotional.
We're trying to get the filter off, and it's really tough. Oh, finally.
It's a really tough decision, and I'm kind of at a fork in the road, and we're just gonna have to weigh everything out and sort of see what happens. The last 6 years with Jamie have been great, wonderful times. But I have some thinking to do, you know, reconfiguring my life.
I get it, I understand, but at the same time, I'm hoping he's not going anywhere.
Next time on Highway Thru Hell, mountain mayhem. Ken's comeback.
Watch the line.
Puts him.
What the hell happened there?
In the thick of the battle.
I'm not touching nothing.
On missions. Impossible recovery.
Get out of that place.
It's time to get on the road again.
Jamie makes a border run.
There it is. That's the truck I've been looking at.
On an epic journey south.
I got a letter.
And gets an unexpected delivery.
That's incredible.
This time on Highway Thru Hell, mountain mayhem. Ken's comeback.
Watch the line.
Puts him.
What the hell happened there?
In the thick of the battle.
I'm not touching nothing.
On missions. Impossible recovery.
Get out of that place.
It's time to get on the road again.
Jamie makes a border run.
There it is. That's the truck I've been looking at.
On an epic journey south.
I got a letter.
And gets an unexpected delivery.
That's incredible.
Well, those guys are far from home today.
In the coast mountains of British Columbia.
Hey guys, they had a pretty bad wreck up there.
Mission Towing's Truck 90 is in unfamiliar territory.
We're just going up the Lillooet Lake Forest Service Road right now.
Dylan Greenwood is going the distance on an extraordinary assignment.
We're over 4 hours away from our base. Then we're probably over 100 kilometers out here in the bush.
Other companies have turned down this job, but we'll take on any challenge.
A narrow spot.
Following behind is a second heavy wrecker and fellow operator Ted Cork.
Sharp corners, sheer cliffs, pressure's on.
Leading the convoy.
Here we go.
Is mission boss Ken DePerrin.
This is my first big recovery since I've been out of the hospital.
Earlier this season, Ken narrowly survived a heart attack.
I had open heart surgery. That was a tough moment for me. It was really hard.
I want to head out on this job to see how my stamina is and how I can do. It'll be a good test for me. This is where it went over, right here. Oh, look at how far down this is. Okay.
200 feet below the road.
Oh, man.
The wreck is deep in the forest.
Holy smokes.
I'm surprised that thing is upright right now.
Look at the size of those rocks. Unbelievable.
It's a long ways down.
Wow. Oh, this is a really big job. That's a deep hole.
Dylan rappels over the side.
The truck is on a 70-degree slope.
Pretty steep.
And is joined by swamper Craig Hookey.
Very dangerous to get down there. Oh! Very slippery.
Wow. Hopefully nobody gets hurt on this job.
Reaching the crash site.
Oh, it's a big boy.
We got our work cut out.
Craig and Dylan discover
Big log there, hung up on this big one right there.
the extreme job
It's another big one that broke off.
is layered in danger.
That truck's not going anywhere.
On the highway through hell, closure is not an option. On Fire Mountain, near Pemberton, BC,
The whole front cab, everything is all twisted right up.
Mission Towing sizes up their toughest recovery in years.
This is a heavy truck.
We'll be dangling the full weight off the wreckers.
And it's got a crane on the back of it too, so that doesn't help. Hung up on logs, hung up on rocks. It's a bit of disaster.
Climbing the slick country road. The dump truck lost traction, slid backwards, tumbling over the edge and into the thick forest below.
It was like so surreal, like, you know, I was like, holy.
You guys are lucky to jump.
Yeah.
The driver narrowly escaped.
As I was sliding down the hill, yeah, I jumped out. You see the tree shaking and then it was gone.
Down the slope,
It broke off all these trees, right?
Craig and Dylan faced their first obstacle.
Yeah, there's multiple trees on top of this truck.
The tree that's on sort of above the cab is across it.
Yeah, there's no way we're gonna pull that truck out.
Unless we get that off it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
To move the tree, the mission crew lower a line from Ted's 25-ton record.
Okay, hook that to the hook.
Okay, Dylan.
I'm gonna take some strain.
Embark, pulling.
She moved, she moved.
3,000 pounds of timber
Keep her going.
begin to shift away from the truck.
That's gonna walk right up the tree.
You got to be cautious all the time.
But as the tree continues to rise,
They're not in a very good spot.
Ken's concerned about the crew below.
I'm getting out of there right now.
Watch in case that tree drops on them.
One falls on you, it'll crush you.
Hang on.
Craig! Watch your head.
Have a good day, driver.
1,200 miles southeast in the high desert of Nevada,
Time to get on the road again and make some money.
Jamie Davis is on the longest trip of the year.
What we're doing today is have a really long tow down to the California-Mexico border. Once we get there, we're gonna pick up a wreck coming back to BC.
It's a tight schedule,
This trip is really a lot longer than we usually do.
but Jamie can't resist.
Right there, I've been driving by that thing for so many years.
A roadside attraction he's had his eye on for decades.
It's an old tow truck here. I've been following it since I was 18 years old, and I just wanted to stop and see it. Looks like it's all for sale here.
Okay, so let's go have a look. For all these years, I've been making sure that truck's still there every time I go by. Maybe thinking I would buy it and bring it home. Bullet holes in there.
I've been wanting to stop here for 37 years. It was kind of always a spooky place. Maybe somebody's gonna take shots at you. You're on private property, boy. You're gonna get some lead. There it is. That's the truck I've been looking at for all these years. Wow. So this is a classic truck. It's nice. It's been sitting in the desert for at least 30 years that I know of. It's a very clean old truck. Serial number. This is a 1963 Holmes 500. It's quite a cool old truck. Very, very restorable, this truck. This would make a perfect restoration project. One day, maybe, but it's not today.
But with a load to deliver and hundreds of miles to go,
Traveling long distances, you never know what to expect.
Jamie pushes on towards the Mexican border.
Between here and there, there's nowhere really to stop. That's just a brutal, brutal place to be. It's crazy.
On the side of a mountain.
Tell him to stay out of the way, Dylan.
Just stand clear.
Near Pemberton, BC.
Hang on.
Ken and the crew are trying to clear a path to bring up a wreck 200 feet below.
Craig! Watch your head.
Timber! One down, one to go.
Everything about following these trees is very hazardous.
Okay, we're feeding the line out to you.
Okay, feed me. Oh!
From a wrecker up top, a winch line is rigged to another massive tree.
Whoa!
Hold it, it's stuck again.
Big deep hole, eh?
Up on the road.
We're getting there, we're getting there.
Ken's longtime partner, Val, can barely watch.
I have to make sure that he doesn't overdo it.
It just needs kicked over.
Kenny, you're not supposed to be doing that. Never mind.
Just kick it over. There you go. I would love to be down there right now.
He has to look out for his chest, so we'll all be looking out for him.
200 feet down the bank,
Murphy.
Craig has a new plan.
Okay, hang on, I'm gonna cut.
A better way to bring the second tree out.
Hold it, cut it, and then move it.
But sawing through the thick trunk.
Now, this is interesting.
Places Craig inches away.
I'm afraid I'm gonna fall into it.
From peril.
You're cutting things that are very unpredictable.
One slip will cut your leg off.
That's really a dangerous situation.
Cutting in a bad spot.
I don't like this. Watch it, Craig.
Cutting in a bad spot.
On a mountain road near Pemberton, BC.
Watch it, Craig.
Ken and the mission crew
Fighting is every bit of the way.
are surrounded by hazards.
Hold there! Whoa, are you okay?
Yes! Good, good! Whoa, that was scary, eh?
When you're cutting these trees, you want to make sure you can get out of the way quick, so that you're not going to get pinched in between them.
Now,
Give her a pull, Ted.
another massive tree must be winched off the wreck.
Keep pulling, Kenny. Okay, that's gonna break. Beauty!
The last major obstacle is out of the way.
How about those logs, Dylan?
Yeah, they might need to be cut.
But the route to the top
Thank you.
is littered with debris.
Let's get these logs right out of the way to clear the pathway for this truck to come up.
Clearing the logs could take hours.
Yeah, I was looking at those logs. I think they might be advantage to us.
But Craig has another idea.
So it doesn't get hung up on all those rocks.
position the logs on the bank so the wheels can ride over the boulders and all the stumps.
Trouble is what happens with logs when they jam up underneath. It'd be better not to have them.
He thinks it'll get hung up on the wreck. But this is a good plan.
When the tire comes, it drops down and it rests on these logs.
Don't challenge me.
Push. Watch out.
Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. We're gonna give it a shot.
There you go.
With a path of logs to ride over.
I think we're ready to pull now.
And 200 feet to climb.
It already has a snatch block on the line.
Okay, good.
Dylan and Craig plan the rigging.
Go underneath the axle,
so when you
and then up to the frame rails.
That's right.
2 lines from each wrecker will be attached to the target. Then the mission trucks will attempt to power the wreck up the 70-degree slope.
I'm gonna get this thing out.
But this is no ordinary truck.
That's a tri-drive with double wall frames and the crane on top of it. It's one of the biggest trucks on the road.
But the 30-ton unit won't move until the wheels roll.
How are the brakes? You can push that yellow button.
Doing nothing. No air pressure.
It's a lot of resistance for us to be pulling on without releasing these brakes.
I don't think we're gonna pull that up with the brakes on.
The only option
We gotta get the brakes off.
is to manually release the brakes underneath the precarious load.
Gonna have to cage the brakes.
Dylan's coming down.
Caging brakes on a 70-degree slope is not something that I want to be doing right now.
Just trying to figure if it's smart for me to be underneath here.
Dylan will have to work fast.
Figure that those trucks will hold.
Knowing it could shift at any moment.
I'm gonna put my life in your hand.
Yeah, you just be careful. Don't get yourself in a spot.
I'm getting in the spot.
You want to make sure that vehicle is being held because you're putting somebody's life in danger.
Watch yourself. Get ready to bounce. Something fails, yeah, pretty much done for.
I'm just worried about moving the truck. The tire's not touching anything right now.
That's dangerous. Roll right over you.
And there's another threat.
Hear that?
An 80-foot tree wedged under the truck.
You hear that tweaking?
On the verge of letting go.
With this log behind my head is the worry.
One hour north of the Mexican border.
Hot temperatures. And I think I'd much rather be here than chaining up on the cope right now.
Jamie's hauling a load across an unforgiving landscape.
And I'm seeing sand dunes, you know, as if they were like snow drifts. This is really cool. I've never seen anything like this. This is one of the highlights of my road trip. It's just like being on a different planet.
From Hope, Jamie has traveled more than 1,200 miles through the American West and is closing in on his destination, the border town of El Centro, California.
Senorita. We're only minutes away from offloading here. It's only 8 miles to the Mexican border.
But as Jamie looks for a body shop,
We've got some construction here, and I've got to be on the other side of the construction.
an unexpected turn
I don't know what the heck to do. Road work ahead.
takes him off course.
Doing long hauls is not without its issues. They'll always throw a curveball at you. This is the road we have to turn down. This is bad news, but I think we'd have really no choice but to go down it. This is not far. If I could get stuck in here.
In British Columbia, working Cliffside.
You hear that tweaking?
Dylan's under a wreck.
Ooh.
Trying to release the brakes on the 30-ton load.
This log behind my head?
Hard spot, man. Very dangerous. You get it in?
No.
Being underneath it, it's a bit of an eerie feeling. You could end up getting squished, and it could happen pretty quick.
The dump truck is held by 2 wreckers.
How's the trucks looking up there?
But up top,
The spades are up. We got the truck off the ground.
the mission trucks are already under heavy strain.
If we don't cage the brakes, we're not gonna be able to pull it.
Let me get it for you.
Just be careful in there.
Whoa!
Craig
Man, that's hard work.
swaps in for Dylan.
You're good.
But the rear wheels are still locked
It's got 2 flat tires.
and in rough shape.
And the back axle is twisted. What a nightmare.
It's not going to benefit us in any way trying to cage it.
On the road,
Let me know when you're ready.
Ken and Ted wait for news.
We're able to carry
The lead 2 axles. The rear axle's got the bumpers pushed into it and it's twisted. We're able to pin them though.
the back one. No.
Oh boy.
If that one's jammed, those tires aren't gonna roll.
I don't know how that'll work, but we'll try it.
With light fading, Ken makes the call.
Almost ready?
Yeah.
All right, get ready to pull.
It's time to winch.
Okay, go!
You moving at all?
Yeah, she's moving.
Keep pulling.
What's happening?
You moved it a foot.
But the beast below
It's up in the air now.
is just toying with Ken's trucks.
We're really up in the air here, Dylan.
Not gonna hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it.
A lot of weight on that.
On Fire Mountain,
Not gonna hold it.
a pair of heavy wreckers are locked in a battle with a 65,000-pound truck.
We're coming up pretty good here.
Pulling like this, you can definitely flip a wrecker.
No, we must be jammed into something right now.
Bang, stop.
Whoop. Whoop. Hold it. Hold it.
What's happening?
Let down a little bit.
Ted and Ken back off on the controls.
Are you gonna try and release those brakes?
I think it would be wise if you could.
And Dylan goes back under.
I'm gonna release one more here while you guys hold it.
Okay. Don't touch any controls.
What a job. Did you get that cage bolt in?
Need like ice creams or something.
Need some Newfie touch, Dylan. Just talk nice to it.
It's not a place where you want to be working, but somebody's got to do it.
Topside, there's another concern.
Running out of light, though.
I know. I just hope we get it moving before it gets dark here.
Yesterday, the dump truck lost traction, rolling backwards over the edge, landing 200 feet below.
We're just having a tough time here.
Releasing the brakes would give the crew a fighting chance. But for Craig and Dylan,
I'm gonna make a call.
they're out of time
We're done. Let's pull.
and patience.
We're not gonna play with this.
I'm gonna lie to him. Kenny, get ready to run.
Yeah, I'm here.
Time to play.
Got her, I'll release. Yep, sure pulling.
Sometimes the less Ken knows, the better.
Pick it up a bit, Ted.
Ken has Ted raise his boom to get more lift.
We need every little bit we can to pull this truck up.
Coming okay?
Even with the rear brakes locked.
Yeah, she's coming.
The wreck finally begins to climb.
She's off the trees and she's over the rocks. Now we're rolling.
Keep going, Ted.
Feels really good to get my hands back on the controls.
Let's get him to chase. You might have to let him catch up.
Take it, Ted.
But on the extreme angle and rugged terrain, a minefield of obstacles lies ahead.
If you see something gonna go wrong, just let me know ahead of time.
Road work ahead. I got to turn right here.
Near the California-Mexico border.
This is bad news.
Jamie's off course, trying to reach his destination minutes before closing time.
It's a little bit nut bar. I'm driving through the construction site because that's where we're told to go. I'm trying to weave this 60-foot long big rig. It's a little bit of a war zone here. Record guys don't know the meaning of stop.
Jamie finds his way back to a road.
I have an inch on either side of me. This is crazy. This will be skilled driving 101. Wow.
And finally,
okay, we did her.
Arrives to drop off the wreck.
Thanks for staying open.
I live right here closer, you know.
Oh, okay. That's cool. This is really close to the border here, eh?
Yeah. You want to go to Mexico?
No, I haven't. I've never been, but one day. Okay, well, I'll get unloaded. All right, Tom, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Okay.
We're gonna go pick up our northbound load.
Jamie heads out to get another load and begins an 1,800-mile journey back to BC. In BC,
He's going.
Mission's high-angle recovery
I don't like how it's getting close to that tree.
is gaining ground.
It's going good down here, Kenny.
But the wreck must now roll up a cliff littered with logs.
These logs could jam underneath and maybe pole vault the truck as it's coming up.
The dump truck continues to climb. And Craig's plan
Roll right over on that log.
is paying off.
That log worked perfect, buddy.
You're gonna be okay.
Working good. Awesome.
80 feet to the road, Ken's crew is not out of the woods.
There's a lot of obstacles here.
Take it.
Ken and Ted continue to winch, and the wreck keeps rolling.
We got it now. See, big difference releasing the brakes, eh?
Dylan can finally confess the truth about the brakes.
I didn't cage the rear axle.
We only released 2 axles.
Really?
We couldn't get the rear.
No? It's dragging still?
Yeah.
No kidding.
There's an old saying, what you don't know won't hurt you.
But as the wreck crawls toward the top,
Go with the other line there, Ken.
the recovery is reaching its breaking point.
Getting a little tougher.
Just below the road, the slope is nearly vertical.
Almost 90 degree. We're coming down a cliff here.
Now we have to deal with the cliff. That's a very crucial point.
Are we okay on this big rock?
Bring it to it.
Okay.
This will be a challenge. A lot of heavy lifting.
This cliff is no joke at all. It's straight down pretty much.
Hey, Ted.
Keep coming, buddy.
9 hours into a mountainside recovery.
Take a little more, Ted.
The mission crew
Take her a bit more, Dylan.
has reached a critical stage.
We're gonna have a problem getting this over the top because the cliff is almost vertical.
Can you lift her? Just take your boom up for a second. I don't want to break anything.
If anything fails, next thing you know, this truck is 500 feet down.
The dump truck is only feet from the road.
Keep going, keep going.
But the 30-ton load now dangles on the edge of disaster.
Holy. Ted? Watch yourself.
The wreckers are in a deadlift and reaching their limit.
That's about it.
Hold there. I am.
To crest the road,
We're in a bad spot right now.
Ken needs a new strategy.
We're gonna try moving the wrecker, repositioning him a bit. Can he hold it?
Okay, Ted, I'm gonna let it down. Just hold on there. Hold there. I'm not touching nothing.
But to move Dylan's truck,
It's a lot of weight there.
Ted's 25-ton must hold the entire load.
That vehicle can overpower your wrecker and flip it very easily.
Okay, it's all on there right now. Gonna roll a truck over. It's not gonna hold it. Just hold your breath. Don't move.
It's really touch and go. It could get terrible real quick.
I'm gonna leave it hooked up. I'm just gonna pull ahead.
Dylan makes his move.
Let's get ahead quick.
Very intense moment. We've got the truck almost hanging on this cliff.
Ted's wrecker is holding steady.
Let's put a safety line on. I think we should.
We have to switch some of the winch lines around to get a better grab on this truck.
But as Dylan disconnects,
Whoop. 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 Whoop.
That scared the out of me.
after the close call,
Just got mad.
another line is added from Dylan's wrecker.
As I start pulling, you're gonna start to share this line to me.
You gotta let the truck relax as Dylan gives it a bit of a pull and then pull again, and that's what's gonna be the hard part.
So as you're pulling, I'm gonna slack off. Yep.
Whew. Ted and Dylan must time their pulls perfectly.
A little bit down, Ted.
Head off a bit.
I'm letting it off.
But that's really super tight, you guys.
Dylan, Ted's working against you. Yeah, I know. He needs to pitch out a little.
There's a lot of things that can go wrong. We're fighting each other.
You go up. Whoop, what the hell happened there? Let me through here.
With everything on the line,
Hold there, Ted.
Ken has an idea.
I think what we gotta do is get a lift on this.
Yeah.
Pull on the back end.
Yeah, drop the front end and pull the back end over.
It's lifting the wreckers too much. We got to change this.
To get more control, an extra winch line from each wrecker will be rigged to the back of the frame to help turn the truck up and onto the road.
A little more. Good, Ted.
The back lines are on, and Ken
Both of you go at the same time on a low pull and see what you got.
gives the command.
Once you start pulling on that, it's a point of no return.
There you go.
Watch the lines, you guys. They're awfully tight.
Your cables are telling you a story, like you listen to them.
The wreckers are fully committed.
Okay, hold it. He's going up.
For Ken and crew,
See what's happening?
there's no turning back.
The truck is working way past its limit.
It's gotta go.
Intensity level is right up to the top.
No.
Whoa, 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 whoa! You gotta roll the truck.
Get out of that way.
Whoa, whoa! You gotta roll the truck.
An all-out battle on a mountain road
Get out of that way.
has Ken and the crew near the end of the line.
I'm worried that this isn't going to hold the load.
Even with extra rigging, the extreme angle and massive weight have brought the recovery to a grinding halt.
We're really not gaining any ground.
Stop, tighten hold. They need to be over this way.
He's got to get, we got no room right now. That's the trouble. He's got to get up.
In the moment, it looks hopeless. It's very disheartening.
It's just fighting us every bit of the way.
Okay.
Dylan has a bold idea.
We're gonna bring it out the same way it went in.
Yeah.
Get more distance from the wreck.
You're just gonna hold it from rolling. So just hold that line.
Just
Keep feeding it out.
Yeah.
Dylan moves farther down the road.
Get into a line where I can pull the hardest I possibly can.
With truck 90 pulled ahead and winching from a wider angle, the two wreckers will try to lift and turn the unit back onto the road. But Ken knows
That ain't gonna work.
it's high risk.
This way it comes out the way it went in.
We're right at the toughest part of the pull. That's a lot of strain.
Oh, we'll see.
I want that low line that I have, put it on the toe pin.
There is doubt, but you have to play the cards you're given. It's all or nothing. I'm gonna go for it.
Watch those cables. Let Ted catch up to you, Dylan. Scared the out of me.
You're on the edge of your nerves. When you hear a bang, it scares you.
Now we're over those rocks, thank God. There we go.
Keep feeding it out.
But as Dylan and Ted continue to pull, there's a new problem. The wreck is threatening to roll.
We're getting very close to tipping the truck over here.
Top line, Dylan.
The dirt shifts or a rock moves, and next thing you know, it rolls down.
Hold it. Oh.
Here, hold on, Dylan.
Ken stops the pull to counter the tilt.
Why can't we go around that with a chain?
And one line is moved to the high side.
Oh, it's a battle, this one. This is the ones you remember, jobs like this.
10 hours into the Mammoth job, Ken and the mission crew press on.
Oh, this got you right up in the air. Keep her going. That's okay, that's okay. That's what we want. Easy, you're going too fast for him. Okay, hold it a sec.
Let's get this other line to the back corner.
Yep, you're right, Ted. I agree. Give her, Ted.
But with the wreck straddling the road
Still looking good. I can't see him.
and sight lines disappearing,
Ted, I'm coming through.
confusion sets in.
Is he gonna pull it some more?
Could you pull more?
Oh, you're pulling? Okay, go.
At this point, the communication isn't clear. It's not going to help the situation.
Let your top line off. Hold it, Dylan. Hold it, Dylan. Whoa. Craig, the truck's right off the ground here, ready to flip, so just watch it. I want out first. Hang on.
Let him take as far as he can.
Let me get out of here.
I just go to put my leg over, he starts pulling again.
I got a little bit more.
Let me get out. That's what I just said. Whoa, the truck's going up. Whoa.
Tell him to take as far as he can.
In the final stage of Mission's mountain recovery,
Let me get out of here.
Ken is caught in the kill zone.
Let me get out. That's what I just said. Whoa, the truck's going up. Whoa.
I'm right in the middle of the bite. That cable breaks, it take off your leg.
Dylan, hold it. Just let me get out of here first.
Come on out.
That's what I asked for last time, that's all.
With Ken safely out of the way, Ted and Dylan can see the finish line.
There's no turning back. We got to bring this thing up to the road.
Is he pulling it forward a bit?
Hurry out.
Looks good. You're on the deck.
Finally,
Okay, blocks of wood.
after nearly losing it all, the impossible recovery is over.
Oh my gosh, am I glad to see this.
We did her.
Good job, buddy.
The last play of the night brought it home.
Dylan's gamble paid off.
Good.
Now I am beat, like the rest of these guys.
It's one of the biggest jobs I've ever done. Those are the dream jobs. Those are the ones you want.
But for Ken's partner, Val, it's a huge relief.
I'm so happy that nobody was hurt. It's done.
Good job.
Haven't worked that hard all year. A great team effort today. We're all excited. It's a win, 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 win.
It's a very big moment for Ken.
Yes.
Let's get going.
I've gone through a lot this last while, and this is a great way to come back into the game. I'm back.
Two days later, at the mission yard,
I've received some hard news from the doctor. I'm not going to be allowed to drive heavy wrecker. I've been part of this business for 46 years. It's been in my blood my whole life. And now it's like someone's taking your wings away.
but Ken isn't ready to retire. Not by a long shot.
Whatever gets sent down your path, you got to deal with. No matter what changes I have to make, towing will always be in my blood.
Welcome to BC.
Just outside Hope,
That was a really long trip.
Jamie returns from his exhausting 5-day trip to the U.S.
Probably one of the longest tows I've done. It's good to be back.
this winter, everything's changed so much. Then I think we've begun to dial this place back in.
Home sweet home.
At the yard, Jamie's wife, Sherry, has big news.
Doing your job while I was gone, huh? Looking after things,
You're here.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. How was your trip?
It was a good trip.
Yeah?
Long trip, though.
I got a letter, and it was pretty exciting.
It says here, it's with great honor that I wish to inform you of your nomination and selection to be inducted into the International Towing Hall of Fame. Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
3 years ago, Jamie watched his good friend, Gary Leach, be inducted into the Towing Hall of Fame.
I don't think there is any bigger recognition than the Hall of Fame in our industry.
Congratulations.
Now it's Jamie's turn.
I'm pretty blown away by that.
You're gonna have to get a suit.
To receive a nomination to the Hall of Fame is a perfect way to end the long winter.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Congratulations.
Can't believe it.
I can.
Winter is over. And one driver heading down the coke can finally switch gears in a different kind of ride.
I don't get out of that tow truck much, but when I do, I like to get away from it fast. I live for adrenaline. That's why I tow on the Coquihalla. 5 months of winter, a little bit of sunshine brings happiness.